Brought to you by stationhousecoffee.com and inspireddisorder.com/ting.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC on ESPN happened this past July 25th, headlined by Whittaker versus Till. Overall, really fun night of fights. I was actually literally in the mail sent a letter from DraftKings telling me that I had some money in an account. So I went and played some DraftKings on this one, which definitely made the fight watching even more entertaining. Having a little bit of money on it. I didn't win any money, but I was basically given free money. So I might be doing that for the next few cards, which should be fun. I almost won all of my picks, just the way DraftKings works. It's it's like a point system. It's weird. But anyway, the only fight I didn't win was my picks was Whittaker versus Till. I picked Till. I don't know why I even bet on that fight at all. It was like, as far as all of these, a lot of these fights, they could have gone either way. But great main card. Till fights. It seems like he fights to the level of his competition and doesn't really. I mean, this fight reminded me a lot of Till's fight against Wonder Boy, where it's just very technical. He didn't end up getting the win. Robert Whittaker got the win, and I think that was a good call. Whittaker just seemed to have a little bit more. I think Till injured his knee at some point, so maybe that limited his ability to fight. But nonetheless, I mean, a sad loss for Till, but it wasn't like embarrassing. Put it that way. Then Shogun Hua versus Rogerio Noguera, I should say. Kind of a sad fight to watch. Two old fighters, very much on the end of their run in mixed martial arts. I think Noguera actually did retire after this fight. Shogun just pulled away. I think it ended up being a split decision, but he had, I would say, the better fight. He edged it out, and I believe it played out similar to their previous fights, because this is their third fight, and Noguera lost all three, so it's kind of a weird third match. But this is the fight he wanted before he retired. So sad to see him lose, but the Noguera family has a lot of victories in their pockets over the years, and they're one of the, as far as brothers, relatives in mixed martial arts, they're at the pinnacle, similar to the Diaz brothers, I would say. And Shogun, he could retire. I don't know. Like, I'm surprised these older fighters are staying with the UFC. When they could go to like Bellator and just juice back up, like what's his face did. Now that he left the UFC, he's out of the USADA pool. He's juiced way back up. Vitor Belfort. Fabricio Verdum got a win over Gustafsson. I would have bet on Gustafsson if I had, instead of the Till fight. I was more confident that Gustafsson would get a win over Verdum, but Verdum ended up getting a win. Pretty quick in the first round, got the armbar submission, just was able to get Gustafsson down and sunk in that armbar. He just wasn't able to get out of it. Carla Esparza got a win, was a close win. I picked Carla Esparza to win. She's looked better. But this one, on the feet, she was not doing good, but she was able to out-wrestle Marina Rodriguez and get the win. Paul Craig had a dominant first round win. Like, I picked Craig to win, and I was nervous, but it ended up being, his stand-up is looking better, but once he was able to get his grappling game going, it was just the beginning of the end. Cowboy Oliveira, I picked him to win. I'm a huge fan of Oliveira. That one was a close fight, ended up going to decision. The Kazimat Shamev, amazing. It's 2 fights. I think it was a 10-day turnaround. Dominant performance. He's definitely like a Khabib on the ground. but more dynamic, way better striking on the feet, and then way more pressure once he gets people down. A lot more striking. I would say very much almost an upgraded version of Khabib, which is scary for the welterweight division. Be interesting to see who he fights next. I don't think he got any damage, so we might be seeing him sooner than later. Francisco Trinaldo I also picked in my DraftKings bet, and he ended up getting a TKO finish, third round. Kind of crazy. He was losing that fight, but always in it. Trinaldo's always in it, always dangerous. But, yeah, he was able to get the knockout win. Late stoppage from Herbert Dean. He usually is on point, but I guess that was the second of the night, which was kind of interesting because he got a big reaction out of Dan Hardy from the commentator booth. But overall, it was a fun night of fights. The prelim fights were a lot of fun, just from top to bottom. Really fun night of fights. The last fights we're going to see on Fight Island for a while as I go back to the Apex Center in Las Vegas with next week's card, next Saturday, UFC Fight Night, Brunson versus Shahbazyan. There was supposed to be, I forget the original, it was Holly Holm versus somebody was the previous main event. I wonder what happened. I forget. I don't remember seeing exactly why that fight was scrapped. But Brunson versus Shahbazyan should be good. Brunson it was looking like he was making a run for the title years ago, and then just had a few losses and just has not looked that great since that initial run. I mean, he does have 2 wins. He beat Elias Theodoro, which boring fight, super boring fighter. So that was that was a decision. Then he fought and went to a decision with Ian Heinisch. So he got the win on that one. But Shahbazyan is an up-and-comer. I think he's the guy that's managed by Ronda Rousey, I think. So I would, if I'm putting money on this one, I don't know if I'm doing my picks for DraftKings, but if I was, I would pick Shahbazyan over Brunson. The co-main is Joanne Calderwood versus Jennifer Maia. I would pick Calderwood over Maia, but that's just, I'm a fan of Joanne Calderwood. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure Shahbazyan's going to dominate Brunson. I think Calderwood could definitely get a big win. I'd pick Vicente Luque over Randy Brown. I think that's going to be a crazy fight. Luque is just great chin, but also an amazingly technical striker. Ed Herman in light heavyweight versus Gerald Meerschaert. Probably pick Meerschaert, just age. Kevin Holland is always fun against Trevin Giles. Should be fun. Lando Venata is fighting Bobby Green in the prelims. Crazy. Ray Borg is somehow fighting. I wonder if he'll make weight. But yeah, next week's card should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that one. Not entirely sure if I'll be doing a DraftKings on that. I should see if I can get a sponsorship with them or something. If I win at all, I'll do that. But, yeah, looking forward to next week's card. It'll be interesting to see. I haven't heard of any kind of potential shutting down of at least the Apex. I know a lot of things are shutting back down because of spikes, but I would imagine Las Vegas, because sports are just so needed. And the way the UFC has kind of proven that they're able to put these fights on without putting anybody in harm or danger of getting COVID. I don't see why these fights wouldn't happen, but should be fun. I'm loving these fights without the crowd. Just being able to hear the impacts of the punches and kicks is so much better. Getting to hear the cards, the corners, I should say. And there's enough people with the corners. And then, even the commentary booths, there's enough cheering going on to really get the kind of the impact of the emotions involved in these fights. But I'm loving it. I almost hope they don't. I'm in no hurry to watch the UFC with the crowd again. Not in any hurry. I'm sure it'll be back eventually. But I think, especially out of all of the sports that are going without crowds right now, like most sports, I can't imagine watching basketball without a crowd. I cannot imagine watching. I can't imagine watching football without a crowd. It's just, I mean, those sports are. Football's a pretty slow sport. Very, very little action in football. But yeah, basketball. I just like a lot of these sports. I can't see enjoying much. I don't watch any of them, so I'm not worried about it. But the UFC, I would say, is one of the few that's actually improved without having a crowd at it. Make sure you support our sponsor, stationhousecoffee.com, and follow Station House Coffee on Instagram, and order yourself some small batch, single origin, premium coffee brewed in Thetford Center, Vermont, shipped directly to you. Help support small business and get yourself some amazing coffee. At the same time, go over to stationhousecoffee.com and order your coffee today. Also, if you're looking for new cell phone service, you're not looking to spend an arm and a leg, go over to inspireddisorder.com/ting and get yourself some new cell phone service and $25 in credit when you go through my link, inspireddisorder.com/ting. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com and follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!